Says, yeah, you try to. You said I was at the library. I was waiting for him. Remember how that guy yesterday was saying that he kind of bells?
Thank you for
Kind of
coming.
bells. Oh yeah. So what?
Help yourself, whatever. Sounds down my leg.
Can you talk for me?
Sure. Test. Testing. Good night, scholar. Testing. Is that good?
On a 10-second delay.
Robbie, go up.
Lick me quick.
I'm all over the
Okay.
place. I
Check.
know. I'm like, dude, I feel the guy everywhere.
Brand new battery.
Uh,
Is that about fast? Getting it. Nope, so about fast.
It's okay. I don't know if these work with like super fast or
Once Chris is set up, we need to have training to take everything.
it's like
15 seconds.
and then question.
There, I put some back in the back.
That's probably a better spot.
So talk and see what they say. They should be able to hear you.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
So you think they can start to hear us now?
Blue Yeti, they should. Yeah, it shows that they should be able to hear you.
Okay.
What are they saying?
They can see but don't have any sound.
0?
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's hearing.
Because well, maybe I'm not hearing. Actually, I was hearing it on mine. I was hearing it.
Okay, so you can hear.
Yes.
Is there any suggestions for what they might be able to do?
What now?
Is there any suggestions for what they can do?
Yeah, I mean, it's sound on their end. It's not us.
Okay, so yeah.
Although, you're not hearing it now, huh?
Correct. Yeah, I can hear crackling, that's for sure. And I can hear myself talking. So, I don't know.
They've got a sound issue in the room. Christine, right? Yeah.
So we'll wait a few more minutes and see what they can do, I guess, to get things going.
Right. We clearly, I'm checking the YouTube stream now. I've got this. What's going on?
Do you want to sit there and take some slots up?
Yeah, he's gonna stand closer to
I've got the slide projection here,
Oh, okay.
so I'm gonna flip back and forth between it.
So
So here you go. Look.
the slots that I sent her, those are the Google slides. So there's 2 videos. That's a video. You'll have to click on
At that
video.
point, I'll just turn the camera around. And get it. Actually, if you want to
Do it.
if you stay over. Yeah. Cool. Hey, could we get those screens down? Or wait a minute. No, it's that line. Do they got their sound fixed?
I don't think they can. They're in SD11. I don't know if you have any, SD221.
Now, do they see the classroom?
They can see us, they just can't hear us.
Yeah, if they access it on the, I promise you, if they did it on the phone, they'd be able to tell because I'm listening to it.
Okay.
And then turn it on. Maybe they can switch things.
So I'm getting, they can see and hear some.
Okay.
So just, we'll try to talk loud.
Yeah, we should be okay if you just enunciate. Sure.
Okay. Is that the best way to go? Okay.
So they can hear it's just like good.
Yeah.
It's just a little.
So I will go ahead and get started.
Sure.
And you can. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I'd like to introduce, I'm Dr. Fischbach. I'm the Associate Department Head for the Life Sciences Department. And we are all excited that you're here to hear from Christian Kennedy, who is a former Wake Tech student, and he's a current Goodnight Scholar at NC State. Christian comes to us, he graduated in May of 2018 with degrees in both Associates in Science and Associates in Engineering. And he's currently studying civil engineering at NC State with a minor in art design. And so he's going to talk a little bit today about the Goodnight Scholars Program, and we hope that you have lots of questions for him. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, sure. So yeah, we'll hop right in. I'm super excited to be here to tell you about the life-changing experiences or opportunities that the Goodnight Scholars Program has to offer y'all. As NC State's largest full tuition scholarship program, there's a lot of opportunities for y'all to grow and become a part of a community that means a lot to us. So we'll hop right in. We've got a little video that might just kind of give y'all a glimpse into what you might see a Goodnight Scholar doing or what it might look like to be a Goodnight Scholar. So. Belong to STEM.
And we have an eye for academics. But we don't mind horsing around.
Or exploring the world around us. We are good at knowledge.
Knowledge that we love to share with others.
We're motivated to build up our community. Because we're proud to call North Carolina our home, whether it's East Side,
The West Side.
Downtown. Any town.
or amongst the back.
So what exactly is a Goodnight Scholar?
Well, it all depends on who you ask.
Alright, so we'll hop right in. There's 4 kind of major pillars that comprise the scholarship. First thing is it's a full tuition scholarship, so that's $20,500 a year. For transfer students, you get that for 3 years or 6 semesters. The reason I say 6 semesters is because if you want to use it for like a summer session or whatever it may be, you can use it for that as well. High school students get for 4 years. So next big thing is it's for North Carolina residents only. However, we do accept DACA and undocumented students as well. Next big thing is it's a STEM affinity scholarship. So this scholarship is for those planning to major in a STEM major and remain in that major. There's over 50 majors that qualify for this, however, so there's a list online if you wanted to look if you are in any question of whether that qualifies or not. Everything from, education to animal science, all that stuff. So, next big thing is this scholarship is for low to middle income households. So your household income must be $110,000 or less. However, if you're a little bit over that, and you have extenuating circumstances, whatever it may be, if you're providing for someone, a lot of people in the family, in the household, medical expenses, whatever, that's something that you can voice to us through the self-nomination process, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a minute, but just don't be too worried if you're a little bit over that. Also just want to point out, this is the only scholarship in North Carolina for transfer students that offers that level of support. So, all right, so this is really more than just a scholarship. It's a program, and it's we say it's an investment into your untapped potential. So the program does a really good job of kind of creating an environment and an atmosphere and giving you the tools and resources and mentorship to become a better person, a better student, a better professional. I'll just tell you a couple ways that they've kind of helped me and done, given me opportunities to do things that I wanted to do. It was really important to me that like I had opportunities to do STEM outreach, so to kind of be able to go out and get kids excited for STEM. And they've provided quite a few opportunities to do that. I've gone on a couple of trips where I've gone to foster homes and low-income middle schools, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but we've gone out and kind of done just activities with them to get them excited and show them how cool science can be in real life when it's applied to things and stuff like that. So that was a really meaningful and fun experience, super rewarding experience. We got to kind of see the kids come in, in middle school, you're all too cool for school or whatever, and then kind of leave excited and happy to be there. So that was a lot of fun. Another big thing that's helped me is this role as an ambassador for the program. So once you're in the program, there's leadership roles that you can apply for, and one of the ones I chose to apply for was an ambassador for the program, just to kind of challenge myself professionally and to work on my public speaking skills and stuff. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been really rewarding. This summer we did kind of a boot camp where we spent 2 days just practicing our public speaking skills and working on that. And it's not something I was comfortable with or good with prior to that, but it's definitely helped me improve on those skills as well as my communication skills and just professionalism in general. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here, a lot more than just paying for your school, as if that's not amazing enough, but just a lot of development into you and investment into you as a person. So, all right, next thing I want to talk about is programming. So basically, every Goodnight Scholar, if you're in the program, you have to get 20 Goodnight Scholars points a year, which 1 point equals 1 hour at a program or an event. And so every month they release a list of events that they're going to do that month that you can sign up for. And there's a whole, I won't name off all the categories, but there's categories to the events. And I'll just name some of my favorite ones. One of them was this day, actually. We do, every so often, we'll do a group, we'll take them out to Habitat for Humanity and just kind of work, simple as that, go work with the Habitat for Humanity. Also a lot of like seminars and stuff where someone from around state can use some help with budgeting and spending my money and putting it in the right places. I'm going to one on Monday on investing, so that's just to help you maybe get started on investing or whatever, get prepared for that type of stuff. Another big one that helped me a lot was the resume jam. So we did one, it was right before the NC State Engineering Career Fair, where we came in and they just kind of showed us what to put on our resume, what not to put on our resume, and I felt like it kind of gave me an edge up when I was at the career fair finally. So a lot of cool stuff. It's always fun stuff. They set that bar. The 20 points a year is super easy to get. It's not a hard thing to do. And the program does that on purpose to challenge the staff of the program to create events that we want to go to, that we enjoy going to. So it's never like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to go to this. It's always fun stuff. It's never anything, you know, tedious or work or anything like that. So, all right, next thing I want to talk about is travel. The Goodnight Scholars Program offers a lot of opportunity to travel. There's 4 main trips that I'll talk about. The first one is the Vancouver trip. I applied for that one last year and was lucky enough to get in. So they take a group of us up to Vancouver, and we just start off 3 days in the city, just bouncing around, seeing some sights, doing some cool stuff, eating some awesome food. And then on like the 3rd or 4th day, this guy came in, a tour guide came and picked us up in a van, and we just headed up to the Canadian Rockies. We got to see some, you know, saw Lake Louise, bunch of famous mountains, bunch of cool waterfalls, just really good time, staying at really nice places, eating really nice food. Was completely spoiled by the end of it, but that's a big trip. Next big trip I was talking about earlier was it's the Mountains and Coast trip. So that's a trip where we start in the mountains of North Carolina, and we just travel down through the coast over spring break and go to low-income rural middle schools and teach them STEM activities that I was talking about earlier. Just try to kind of get them excited for science and all that. Like I said, a really rewarding experience. Next big one is Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago is a kind of a service trip. They go out to Trinidad and Tobago and help out the villages. They do a lot of public education, test their water. You know, they built some sheds for them last year, stuff like that. So that's a really good one. And all these trips are heavily subsidized, so you pay little to nothing if you're going on them. And then the 4th one I'll talk about is the Boston trip. That's over fall break, and they just go to Boston, go to Fenway Park. That's a fun trip, you know, cultural enrichment trip. So they go to Fenway Park, they go to MIT, get to see a bunch of like kind of behind the scenes things going on at MIT and stuff. And we actually have a little video that we'll pull up now that just to show you that video or that trip. Cool. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of opportunities to see some new things, go to some new places. So next thing I want to talk about is Enrichment Grants. So this is a resource that the program provides. This is money on top of the scholarship that you can apply to get. Basically, the program knows y'all have dreams and they want to help make those dreams come true. So whatever it may be, I know some big ones that people apply for are study abroad. If you want to study abroad and you want help financing that, that's something you can apply to maybe get some help for. Research, if you want to do research, you need supplies or you need some help financially getting off the ground or whatever it may be. That's a big one that people apply for, as well as maybe if you have like an unpaid internship that you're doing. They might help cover living costs or something for the summer, whenever the internship is. So those are all, big things that we encourage all the scholars to take advantage of and to kind of branch out and help y'all achieve the things you want to achieve. So, all right, let's talk business. So first thing, the application process. First thing y'all have to do is the February 15th General NC State application. For y'all, that's the deadline, so make sure you get that in on time. I think that's the early action application.
Is that for spring semester or for fall semester?
For fall. You can be eligible for the program. So yeah, February 15th, you have to have that application in, have to come in fall, have to have your associate's degree. And then March 1st to March 5th is the self-nomination process. So y'all don't have as long, high school gets a whole month. Y'all just have the 5 days. So March 1st to March 5th, and all these dates are online at goodnight.ncsu.edu/apply. So any of these you can get online, any of the deadlines. But March 1st to March 5th is the self-nomination process, and that's when I was talking about earlier. You have the opportunity to, if you're over the cap or whatever, you can voice those extenuating circumstances for the income as well. It's a short form, it's not much, it's just to make sure that you're eligible to even be a part of the scholarship. It's just finances and stuff like that. So March 1st, March 5th, and then mid-March, invitations to apply will come out. So that's invitations to actually apply for the scholarship. And that's due March 31st. So those are your 3 main dates, or 3 main deadlines. It's the 15th, and then 1st to 5th is self-nomination, and then you'll get an invitation to apply, and then 31st to apply. So, all right. So not to go on too much of a tangent here, but I just want to tell y'all, when I was in y'all's shoes, and I was about to graduate from Wake Tech, I had seen the flyers for this info session, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to make it. But honestly, a scholarship was just not something I thought I could get. All I had done was go to work and go to school. I didn't have any, I didn't have much extracurriculars. I didn't think anyone would want to give me a scholarship, and I had a teacher that kind of pushed me to apply for it, and here I am. So the point I'm getting at is, if y'all have any doubt that you can't get the scholarship, I promise you can. Obviously not everyone can give it. We'd love to be able to give it to everyone. Finding people that want to help, want to make the world a better place, and are passionate about something. And so ultimately, that's really what they're looking for. They're less looking for all the other stuff. There's no GPA requirement to get into this program, nothing like that. But they want to see smart, capable, passionate, driven students. So, if there's any doubt, I just want to eliminate that right now. So, that's about it. I think we'll open up to questions right now. If y'all have any questions at the moment.
There's no GPA requirement at all.
Christian, I'm
The
gonna.
state, that's different depending on what you're applying for, but there's no GPA requirement for the Goodnight Scholarship Program. It's kind of an academic service need STEM-based scholarship. So we're looking for a whole range of things.
So my question is, I'm a part of the C3 program. I don't know if you know what that is. We don't actually have to submit an application to NC State, so what would our next step be? Would it be the self-nomination? Because it says submit a general NC State.
The C3 is complicated. That's something I just found out about a couple weeks ago. I'll have to email you, or you can email the program. This is the email. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Goodnight Scholarship at ncsu.edu. If you have any questions, you can email them. You can go to the website. I can give y'all my email if you have questions. C3 is a little bit complicated though, so I'll have to get back to you on that. But yeah.
So like, I'm part of the C3 program too, which is to encourage us to apply for like self-nomination.
I would definitely do that for sure.
So for the folks online, the question is, if you're part of the C3 program, is there still an encouragement to apply for the Goodnight Scholar Program?
Right. Yeah. So if you're part of the C3 program, I encourage you to definitely self-nominate. At this moment, I don't know what the exact status is if you are part of the C3, whether you're eligible or not, but I can get back to everyone on that and maybe send out an email or whatever we need to do to get to the bottom of it. So.
Are there any other questions? I think there was a question over here.
So if we don't need to clarify any of the income things that we're talking about, should we still self-nominate regardless? Like, is that a necessary part to kind of get the process going? Or?
Yeah, so whether you're below or above the income cap, you still need to self-nominate. Yeah, everyone has self-nominated, sorry.
Is there, one of my friends is a Goodnight scholar, and they have to write an essay, but he was going in as a traditional 4-year student. Is there an essay component?
Yeah, so the application is mostly essay based.
But it's for the actual application and not for the self-nomination?
Right, self-nomination is just logistics. So, yeah, the question was, is there an essay for the application process? Application process involves an essay, but the self-nomination process does not.
About how many Goodnight scholars are accepted?
Right, so this year they did 10, 15, and then this year they're doing 20. So 40, there's the application process, 40 will interview and 20 will be chosen.
So even after you apply, we're gonna have to, and if like we get chosen from all people, we're gonna choose 40. Those 40, you're gonna interview them, and then 20 of those will be accepted.
That's correct.
Okay.
So however many will apply, 40 will interview, 20 will be chosen.
So is this for the people who are going to graduate in fall next year?
Yeah, so this would be if you're coming into NC State next fall.
So if you're going.
So not if you're graduating next fall, but if you're coming into NC State next fall.
So
That's okay.
entrance to state for fall 2020.
What if I'm entering the very next year, 2020 spring?
So the scholarship, to be eligible for the scholarship, you have to be entering in fall.
Will there, and like, I assume that there will be another info section next fall?
Yeah, there should be. I'm
Because
sure.
I
At
also
Wake Tech,
not
there should definitely be.
planning to graduate in fall of 2020.
Yeah.
And then apply to state next year.
Okay, yeah, there definitely should be another. We should make it back out for sure. I might even do one in the spring, honestly, this year.
So if we enter in spring next year, so we have no chance of having this question.
No, it's just for fall entrance, so unfortunately. It's hard to coordinate things and stuff if they're doing two, like, split cohorts, so that's why they do it that way.
Most engineering,
Engineering is required to come in fall,
right, anyway, so.
which I heard rumor, don't program this, but I heard rumor they might be experimenting with taking that away.
With, I know you said it's only for the fall, but with the C3 program, they made it so that you can also transfer to NC State as an engineering this spring.
Oh, really?
So it's on absence of someone dropped off the engineering program that we have possible for a C3 student to enter.
Okay, that's good to know.
Can you repeat that? I don't think they can hear the students well.
Sure. So it was stated that C3 students are eligible to come in as an engineering student in the spring as on the, if someone drops out, right?
Yeah.
So if someone drops out of the program.
They don't quote me, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
that's what it was. I know you can transfer during the spring, though I'm not 100% sure on if someone drops out.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
transfer, I believe, is eligible in the spring, but for the Goodnight Scholar Program, C3 students are certainly eligible to apply. The self-nomination is just to make sure that process is working properly.
Yeah. The self-nomination is to ensure that you are even eligible for the scholarship. So it's like, I think it's more residency and income-based information. So C3, do you get an associate's degree coming out?
Yes, we will continue as an associate's degree. Once we get the associate's degree, we transfer to NC State. We already get accepted as a student to NC State, so as it sits, C3 Pro students are already a student to NC State. Just we're going to study at Wake Tech.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know much about the C3 program. Y'all can email this email, or I can give y'all my email, and I'm happy to get to the bottom of that and find out.
Certainly follow up with the C3 mentors here about any specific questions, but it is certain that C3 students are eligible to apply for the Goodnight Scholars. We have a question from the folks, I believe, on South Campus,
Sure.
and that was if you could discuss the self-nomination process a little bit more.
So it's a simple form. The self-nomination process is just a simple form that will open up on March 1st. It's been a while since I did it, about a year ago, I guess, or 2 years ago, but it's just asks questions about your financial situation and residency. It's a quick form. I remember it took me like 30 minutes maybe, and then it just it basically later on they make sure it lines up with your FAFSA. And so is that probably what they're looking for?
Does anyone have any other questions for Christian?
So I know the application part has like an essay part. Do we still need like, is there like a part in it?
Oh, it does not. There's no recommendation letters for the application. It's just essay based.
So does that mean that NC State doesn't use recommendation letters at all? Because I remember that their actual application also doesn't recommend.
So the question is about the general application process for NC State and if recommendation letters are used. And
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that
general,
process.
I know the general, so the general application to NC State does not use recommendation letters either. So, I mean, as far as those two things go, I know they don't. They might use recommendation letters elsewhere, but I don't know what the motivation was behind getting rid of those. I think maybe if I had to guess, they were probably, yeah, maybe just getting generic ones, maybe, like professor writes the same one for all of them, but just puts in a different name or whatever. So that might have been why.
Christian, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Being a Wake Tech student yourself, was there anything from Wake Tech that you think helped prepare you to become a Goodnight Scholar?
For sure. So first of all, I love Wake Tech. Super big fan of Wake Tech. Y'all are all very lucky to be going to this community college. It's got a really strong program. First of all, they really, especially for STEM, this is a great community college to go to. I think just Raleigh in general, the RTP, NC State, Wake Tech together, like it just creates a really strong STEM environment. But just the atmosphere, the teachers, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I didn't want to go to college. I know it's crazy, but I took a year off trying to figure out how to not go to college. And I was like, okay, I should probably go to college. It didn't take me long to figure out that I did need to go to college. And I got into Wake Tech, and I ended up loving school. And I didn't know what changed between high school and here. But the biggest thing was just that the teachers here care about what they're doing. They care about, or with most of my experience, and we're happy to be there. And that was not my experience for most of my school growing up. So you all are at a great school. It's got fantastic teachers. It helped me a lot. Definitely inspired me a lot. I wouldn't have applied for this if it hadn't. I don't know if y'all know Dr. Nambridge. I don't think she's here anymore, but she was the one who forced me to apply for this. I didn't think I'd ever get it. So just the fact that a teacher took that much interest in me and put the effort into telling me to do this, I wouldn't be here if she hadn't. So yeah, Wake Tech's definitely a fantastic community college to be at as far as STEM and science and NC State and all that goes.
Does anybody have any other questions for Christian?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to finish. I'm going to graduate in the upcoming summer, not this summer coming, but the one after. So would I apply at the deadline? But then would it account for my courses that are being taken after the application is sent out?
So just to repeat the question, for a student graduating in the summer, should they still apply in the February application process?
Right. I can't answer that for sure. If you want to come back to me later, or maybe that'd be more of NC State thing, general application. Definitely still do it if you can. I know when I was here, I had a couple of friends that did it, so I'm sure it's possible. I know that they still have one more class till they officially had their associates that they had to take that summer, and they still came to state. So I think it's one of those things that you can put. It's a general application question, but I think that it's something that you can indicate on the application.
On the application, it tells you the number of credits that you can have less of your associates to apply for the college.
So for those listening,
I've done that.
it apparently on the Goodnight Scholar application,
No, the general.
on the general application, you can indicate how many credits you're short for your degree.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then you'll just have to send your transcript after that summer class is over, so they can confirm, and then they'll probably confirm that you're in NC State. You should be good.
Wonderful questions from everyone. Is there any other questions that anyone has?
Well, thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate it. And if you have any other questions,
Yeah.